Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zalfa Nurul Aini and my friend usually call me Zalfa. I'm from the Department of Chemistry, Chemistry A, Faculty of Science and Technology, and here I will explain about waste. Domestic solid waste, hazardous and toxic materials, and hazardous and toxic waste. Okay, the first, domestic solid waste. The condition of solid waste causes odor pollution from rotting garbage, water pollution due to garbage disposal into rivers, and leachate seeping from TPA, final disposal sites, into settlements and residence water sources. Air pollution due to burning garbage is another problem. The arises due to burning waste. Pollution of river water due to waste disposal also has a negative impact on human health, especially with the increase in diarrhea disease and the cost of processing raw water for drinking water continues to increase. Okay, A. Pressure on the environment. The problem that makes it difficult to control waste spills is the uncontrolled use or utilization of plastic as a means of wrapping, packaging, and container goods, as well as product protection. Constraints is in management, namely lack of coordination between relevant agencies, weak systems or regulations on waste management, and lack of public awareness. And then B. Domestic solid waste management policy. 1. The 4R concept waste management hierarchy. The first, reduce. Reduce was from reuse sources. Reuse recovery waste make efforts to recover used materials and recycle, carry out processing to produce other products. Waste management by meeting environmental requirements in incinerators, waste landfill in environmentally friendly landfills. Okay, next, cities that are included in the Praja Build program. The implementation of the Bangun Praja program is the monitoring and evaluation of institutional management, responsiveness, physical, and innovation aspects carried out by the city or district government based on predetermined criteria and indicators. Metropolitan cities such as Surabaya, East Jakarta, Bandung, Medan, South Jakarta, West Jakarta, Palembang, Tangerang, Semarang, North Jakarta, and Makassar. Big cities such as Central Jakarta, Padang, Malang, Bogor, Bandar Lampung, Pekanbaru, Denpasar, Surakarta, Banjarmasin, Samarinda, and Yogyakarta. Medium cities such as Pontianak, Manado, Jambi, Balikpapan, Mataram, Bengkulu, Palu, Pematang Siantar, Serang, Jayapura, Binjai, Kendari, Ternate, Palangkaraya, Curup, Metro, Salatiga, Pangkal Pinang, Tebing Tinggi, Kebumen, Bima, dan Parepare. Small towns such as Bukit Tinggi, Wonogiri, Purbalingga, Gianyar, Tabanan, Wajo, Sengkang, Sika, Muara Bungo, Babu Sangkar, Badung, Bengkalis, Kupang, Rengat, and Muara Enim. And next, hazardous and toxic materials. The first condition of hazardous and toxic materials, according to UNEP data, there are 100,000 types of chemical compounds used and hundreds of which are classified into B3. Both in the short and long term, can disrupt human health and the environment if not managed properly and correctly. And the second, environmental impact trends. Effort to prevent environmental pollution by B3 are monitoring the amount of chemicals circulating and entering the territory of Indonesia, supervising cross-border movements, especially for chemicals that are prohibited and limited in use. The government also monitors persistent organic pollutants or POPs in Indonesia. POPs are chemicals that are toxic, usually used as active ingredients for pesticides, resistant to change, stable, can accumulate in the body of living things, bioaccumulation, and can move through air, water, and living things far from the source, accumulating in a terrestrial environment or aquatic environment. And then B3 management efforts. International conventions that support the application of regulations on B3 management, the Rotterdam PIC, prior informed consent convention, regulates the cross-border problem of chemicals to developing countries which are no longer used in the country of manufacture or use. Stockholm Convention on POPs, which regulates the prohibition of the use of 12 types of chemicals classified as POPs. And then hazardous and toxic waste. The first condition of hazardous waste, the amount of B3 waste that is processed at the Indonesia Waste Management Center or PPLI B3 Cilengsi in 1994 was recorded at 90.715 tons. In 2002, it was recorded at 24,000 tons. Meanwhile, in 1998 and 1999, the amount of processed B3 waste decreased because at the time there was an economic crisis. And pressure on the environment due to hazardous waste. In Indonesia, factories often dispose of the resulting B3 waste directly to the ground without being processed, for example, stockpiling it at the factory location, throwing it in a landfill, throwing it into the river, or making landfill. More than 2.2 tons per year of B3 waste is exported to developing countries from developed countries. There is a case that PT Maspion Unit 1 Sidoarjo East Java does not treat its B3 waste, but disposes of it directly into the environment. It is proven that PT Maspion violated the regulations regarding B3 waste management, namely storing B3 waste beyond the allowed time limit more than 90 days, stockpiling B3 waste without a permit and not meeting the stipulated requirements for B3 waste management. For that, the government has taken several steps to prevent the entry of B3 waste from other countries. Indonesia has ratified the Basel Convention, which regulates the movement of B3 waste between countries through Presidential Decree number 61 of 1993 on July 12, 1993. And then, Waste Management Policy. Government Regulation number 18 of 1999 concerning management of hazardous and toxic waste, which was later refined by Government Regulation number 85 of 1999. KLH launched the Corporate Performance Rating Program, or PROPER. PROPER is an alternative program that aims to encourage industry voluntarily and with self-awareness to comply with the provisions of good environmental management based on applicable regulations. In 2002, there were 43 industries following PROPER. Okay, thank you. Maybe that's enough for me. I'm sorry if there was mispronunciation for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.